brings the ingenuity of our senior lawyers or colleagues coming in. I see Mr. Bhatt smiling, sitting in the audience. Obviously, he will bring his ingenuity to picture, and then he'll be going to make an argument. So we need people who have specialized in each of these, and my suggestion would be that BRIC countries, all these professionals, whether in income tax, insolvency, commercial law, must put their heads together and bring about at least a law based on UNCITRAL or something modified than UNCITRAL to ensure that at least in all these 5 countries, the cross-border insolvency, restructuring can take an effective step and move forward. Because that's the position today. With looking at the economics of the world, I think that's the need of the hour that we have to look at. I find many global companies, including those from BRICS, have investments in India, one has pointed out. Indian companies have grown multinational in character and made a high-profile and high-stake acquisitions abroad. Similarly, Indian companies have set up businesses entities abroad. Foreign banks and creditors have financial assets, and Indian banks have branches overseas. Many previous committees on insolvency laws had recommended adoption of UNCITRAL law, but unfortunately, I think the first step they thought, let me bring the child into, let child take birth, and probably I'll go over it once the child is at place. And that is why it has happened today. The initiative, as I said, from 1909 and 1920 Acts of Presidency Insolvency Acts stand repealed for the first time, and all this have been brought on this picture. There was another theme that we want to bring home to all my friends, especially from big countries. We in India have come a big way on mediation. We tried this mediation in New Delhi, for example, only starting with matrimonial laws and what we call joint family disputes. But I must tell you with pride that over the period of last 10 years, mediation movement has taken a new move. Lawyers and mediators have been able to settle something like 62% cases, even in commercial litigations, coming to court, or even in pre-litigation. Therefore, even in BRICS, if we formulate a forum of mediation between these countries, I am sure that will also help our people to do what they ought to do. And also, we will not bring acrimony between people. The investments will not lose their strength and will still remain part of BRICS. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be amongst you on this brief note. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I should say that your experience in insolvency and bankruptcy law is very valuable for Russia, because in Russia these tools are usually, or say very often, used not only for insolvency or bankruptcy itself, but for raider actions from aggressive participants of the market as well. And so we need your experience and to share this thinking about how insolvency regulation should and can contribute the faster economic development of the country. The next topic will be presented by, I'm afraid my Chinese is as good as Hindi, by Mr. Zaho Hondrui, the Dean of the Law School of Harbin Institute of Technology, Professor and Doctoral Supervisor. The topic is Building BRICS Law Research Society as Common Think Tank. Please.
My topic is highly involved China law and Chinese money. And then there is a suggestion to say building BRICS law society as a common think tank by 3 steps. Firstly, let's review the world map for legal research. I divide into two types, the old law and new law. Let's see. The United States has 198 law schools. The British Kingdom has 120 law schools. Brazil maybe have 100 law schools. Is it correct? Yep. Oh, thank you. Russia has 100 law schools. I have some students they told to me. China, India, my guide said you have 1,600 law schools. 600 law schools belong to the government and the others belong to private. Is it correct? Wow, great. And China, exactly, we have 337 law schools. South Africa maybe have 100 law schools. Is this correct? This is my I guessed approximately. So all the law schools studied, researched the Western law. But if we exchange the Western law, we don't need the BRICS platform. I think we must have our own law, BRICS law. This is our common topic here. So I'd like to share my view here with you. In my mind, I think there are three kinds of law belong to BRICS. Why? Because we are transition states. First is financial law, money law. Second is WTO related or foreign trade or foreign investment, overseas economic relations law. The third, I named it as national security law, just like a cyber internet law. It's brand new. We have our own emerging economy interests. So I mean there are three kinds new law besides the old law, Western law. So the old law is coming from the EU and the United States. BRICS need our own new law researches. This is our own common languages, legal map. This is China law. Our president of China Law Society said this morning to say, we have 229 laws. He said we have about 300 laws. He included some amendments to the criminal law. But I means all the amendments plus the criminal law equals to one law. In this context, China has 229 law exactly. I divide the 229 law into six scope. The first is sovereignty law. Sovereignty, for example, the constitutional law, national security law, cyber security law, national defense law, nationality law, such as these kind of things. The second is government law. We have governmental law, election law, something like this kind. The third is very traditional, criminal law. The fourth is the civil law, very traditional. The scope 5 is very unique, economic law. We should pay more attention on this scope. Why? We are transition station. BRICS, we are transitional. We should pay more attention. China invent overseas abstract foreign investments law by my tutor, Mu professor coming from Peking University. Firstly, 37 years before, my tutor invented first is the foreign direct investment law. The second is Sino-foreign joint venture law. The third is the foreign-owned enterprise law. These three laws, unique in the world, highly suggest for the transitional phase for our BRICS. It's very useful. We use the three laws, open China law, China door to the world. We have the biggest foreign investments, the biggest world trade volume. It's very useful. If North Korea like to open the door, I suggest use the three laws. Okay. The sixth is traditional social law. For example, environmental, education, labor union, such as this. Besides the domestic law, there is international law. I think it's about 3,000 treaties, such as the UN Charter, G20, and our BRICS. Today is the BRICS Law Forum. I suggest we should build the BRICS Law Society as a common think tank to research our own law. First step, we pay attention on the finance and dispute settlement. From the Brazil to Shanghai and New Delhi. First step, we go to this scope. Second, I suggest open the door law, highly related to the WTO, free trade area, this kind of law. This is our second common language. Third is national security, cyber security. It's very interesting. So I will give an institutional example, 3 steps to deepening BRICS legal researches from China Law Society perspective. This is our China Law Society. We have 55 branches, research institute. These 4 institutes is related to the money, related to the financial law. The second related to the dispute settlement. The third is WTO Law Institute. Is the Mainland and Taiwan Legal Exchange Research Institute and China Characteristic Legal System Research Institute. I mean, the 3 layers, 3 steps can established step by step to deepen our legal research commonly. There's another story, another example to say money. In the past 15 years, you can see, China have too much money. Too much money. Yeah, this is curve. In 2009, the central bank issued the highest rate of 39% of new money. The new money, we should pay more attention on the new money. It's a foam. And then we go down. Let's say, at the very beginning, at the establishment of China, we only have 65 billion RMB. 30 years later, we only have 355 billion RMB. The curve go up very slowly. And then, in 1995, we have 6 financial laws. For example, central bank law, commercial bank law, the guarantee law, we have 6 financial laws. We have the firewall for RMB. It's very useful for our emerging economy. We can defend the financial crisis. These 6 financial laws invented by China. Very different from UK, very different from Fed at the United States. This is highly suggested to research. And then we have more and more money. If you research, you can find that the central bank issue